That's you. Make some noise. You're here. All right. What's up? John, make some noise. Woo! That's right. Yeah. Let's welcome to Funky Friday Open Mic at LA School of Comedy, where Alan Weiss just requested more homework. Because he's like, hey, if LA School of Comedy is a school, why don't we get more nerd? Shut up. Just kidding. Anyways, no, I'm just in a good mood. It's been a good week. I do have my notes. Yes. What do I want to talk about? I wasn't planning on hosting, but that's what happens sometimes here. Sometimes you get asked to host. I saw a really fun billboard. Not a billboard, but an ad in the back of a bus the other day. And it was so awesome that I don't know if it was anti-drugs or pro-drugs. And I can't stop thinking about this ad because it just sounded so awesome, right? It was just, all it said was, one line, one pill, fentanyl kills. And immediately an AC/DC song started playing in my head. I thought that's the most awesome thing I've ever heard. One line, one kill, fentanyl kills. That sounds amazing to me. So if you don't ever hear from me, if you suddenly don't hear from me ever again, it was the one line, one pill, fentanyl kills. It just sounds really awesome. And then whoever came up with that ad's going to have quite a dilemma on their hands. I try to make it anti-drug, but I'm sorry, I accidentally made it awesome, Anyways, so it's good to be here. I wish I had a tall voice. I don't have a tall voice. When I was during the pandemic, I had a bunch of contract jobs over Zoom, and then when inevitably I met someone who'd only heard my voice and seen me from the neck up, which is kind of spindly. They'd even be like, "Oh, geez, I didn't know you were like." Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, I don't have a tall voice, but I do have a tall voice in the morning sometimes. Like first thing in the morning, which is like, "Hello, how are you?" And then it immediately goes away. Or when I breathe in, you ever do that trick where you're just like, hello, like that. Just do that song from the 80s, like, oh yeah, bow, bow, or check this out. Here's, you should feel very privileged to see what you're about to see, because if I have enough breath, I can do this. All right, this is my impression of the big brother from Everybody Loves Raymond. So check this out. Raymond. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. That's my impression of the big brother from Everybody Loves Raymond. I don't know if this next gentleman does any impressions, but he's funny nonetheless. Please give it up for the comedy of Patty for comedy.
Where's Patty? Hold on. You guys are going to have to help me. A little more than that.
Come on. Woo!
Thank you. Not at all, pal. Yes. Give it up. For the middle-aged muchacho himself.
Thank you.
Captain Ramirez. Give it up for Captain Ramirez. Yeah. Shall we? Yeah. I know you're looking at me. I can feel your eyeballs on me. And you're saying, Patty! What the fuck have you done with your skin? Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Looks pretty good, huh? And I don't use a lot of skincare products because this skin does pretty good for me all by itself right here in this state. But I got this. Hold on a second. You might want to jot this down. Salmon sperm facial. Alan turned me on to him. Give it up for Alan Meister. That's salmon sperm facial. Smooth, right? Smooth. Got rid of my eczema, and it's fucking so easy to apply. Super easy to apply. The hardest part is just getting the salmon in your hotel room. Other than that, fucking easy. So, hey, it's been a kind of a quiet week, hasn't it? Not much going on. What the fuck is going on? Trump has gone nuts. I mean, this is madness, He deported a gay barber who had a SpongeBob tattoo as proof that he was a dangerous gang member. That makes me mad, not because I care about immigration, but it was my barber. It's a fucking $12 cut. You don't find that everywhere. I'm frugal. Well, goddamn, it's insane. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't quite know. Did he create some type of hoodoo trans mirage to trick us into let him destroy the economy with his tariff boners? He loves the fucking tariffs. He loves the tariffs. We'll charge them more and not charge us more. It's fucking math. Think about it. the threat of terrorists. I'm not going to, you guys, I'm agreeing, I'm not going to talk about anymore. Okay, 2 genders, that's it. That's what you come out with the first day, 2. No, there's only 2 genders. And for some reason, you can use the R word again. I don't even know what that means. I didn't use the R word in the past, but, I'm not from Boston. Retarded! It just sounds retarded when they say retarded. Fuckers! I'm maddened. I like myself, I liked when there was lots and lots of genders, More choices is American, right? Less is not. It's not American. I'm an immigrant. I love America. Just more is American. Less is not American. And I identify myself. Some of you know. Others of you don't. But I identify as an evolved heterosexual. I know that no means no. Okay, I'm a man that's been married many, many years. I know even yes can mean probably fucking not. You're not married. You are. But the rest of you, because are any of you married? By a round of applause? None of you. None of you. God damn it, you guys need to start fucking quick. I'm getting in the Social Security age, and I need fresh bodies to pay into this Ponzi scheme of a fucking country I've bought into. For Christ's sake. You guys need to start fucking. No, we didn't need anybody to tell us to start fucking. We were fucking. China's out fucking us. Apparently. God damn it, China's out fucking us. We need to get to fucking. He was just fucking before he came here. Give him a round of applause. This motherfucker's doing his. He's holding up his hand, man. I stand on business. He's fucking. You've been laid twice in the last week at least. God damn, that's what happens. Sexy. But look. My life has been kind of different in that, okay. I know I married the right woman. Okay? You know why? Because I married the wrong one first. Twice. My first wife. Married her at 19. I raised her as my own. My very own. But she was kind of a mixed marriage. I'm an Irish Catholic. And she was a sadistic Jehovah's Witness. She couldn't get off unless I slammed the door in her face. Fuck there. But I will tell you this. I'm going to say something. My first wife, probably one of the most despicable human beings on earth, and simultaneously the most generous and fabulous lover I have had or ever will have. Do you know how fucked up that makes me? It was a 3.5-year hate fuck called marriage. God, have you ever done it? Have you ever fucked someone you can't even stand? You should go do it right now. It's hot. Besides, you need to start fucking anyway, okay? Keep on fucking. And things, move along and change. Like now, I don't know what it is. The magic is a little bit, you've married a while. My wife's cutting down on sexual positions. So she's down to 3, which I guess is fine. It's just 2 of them don't involve me at all. So I'm not too happy about that. Pilates instructors and, man, I want to tell you, see, you're young. How come you're not fucking? Because when I was young, this wife, it was all fucking cocaine and Quaaludes. He knows about the fucking Quaaludes, man. He's with me. It's sex in fucking public places. I had a convertible. Whoa! Now it's Botox and the Hallmark fucking channel. It's not happening. It's hard. It's difficult. I might as well do something I wrote. I'm very happy to be here because a lot of you will eventually make children. Are there any former children here? Any children or former children? Okay. Why did I do everything I did in my life? I'm 61. Because I have 3 beautiful children who I love a lot. Now, let me clarify something. I have 5. 2 of them are fucking annoying. Fucking annoying. By a round of applause. Anybody here call their parent by their first name? Okay. If you do, you're not the favorite. You are not the favorite. My son Mandrake calls me by my first name, which I think is his way of getting back at me for naming him, you could say it, Mandrake. I love him, you know, and yes, I did name him Mandrake. I was into magic at the time and doing a lot of meth, so, okay, fucking my bad, all right? It's okay, it could be worse. He could be a vegan. You know, the hardest thing for a vegan to do? Keep it to themselves. They gotta fucking tell everybody, shut up! I don't need to hear about you. And I will tell you this, recently, I must say this, because, you know, it's love. It's all love here. Fucking more testosterone here than in a gay rodeo. But there's, my son came out as a passive-aggressive power about him, which, look, we support, my wife and I support him. I will be honest, we actually were hoping for a top. But that's the way it goes in this life. I asked my friend Carlos. Carlos is his third cousin. Was voted the third sexiest bartender in the Pasadena, Alhambra adjacent area. Because I was very curious with the, you know, there's only two genders. I said, wait, in Spanish, how do you say non-binary? He said, well, it's non-binary-o. Or non-binary-a, depending on gender. You can't fuck with Spanish, is what I'm saying. Listen, you guys, I'm going to wrap this up. You've been good. Give yourself a round of applause. And I want to say something. I am an immigrant and I am a patriot, but I used to feel good when I said that word, patriot. Now, it sounds vaguely racist. It just happened. I don't, you know, kind of just, but vaguely, in a vague way, like Taco Tuesday, which is my favorite vaguely racist annual food event. I like that. It's just kind of dirty. I don't know what to tell you. But I want to leave you with an inspirational story because, yes, I'm an immigrant. Oh, by the way, I could have an ISIS tramp stamp, and they're not going to deport me. They're not going to be. No matter what the tattoo is, you have to be as dark or darker than Bruno Mars for it to even fucking matter. So let's be honest about what the fuck this is. But we can fix it together. So I want to tell you an inspirational story of my grandfather, Seamus Murtaugh. My grandfather, I'm an immigrant. I came from a shit country. It's Ireland. At the time, it was a shit country, and it was a shit country for 1,000 years before that. But my grandfather was a frozen bull semen salesman. He sold frozen bull semen. And I'll never forget what he told me. He said, you know, Paddy, I sold frozen bull semen my whole life, but it wasn't hard. It was easy. It was easy to sell the bull semen. The hard part was getting the bull into your hotel room. That's it? That's all I get? Yeah. You guys have been adequate. Thank you for the use of the hall, and let's have a rounding... Where's our host? Billy Ramirez is here. Thank God for this. Don't get any tattoos, Billy. I don't want to lose you.
I already have a tattoo.
Don't let that out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Patty. Once again, give it up for Patty. Woo! Yeah. That's how you... Patty. Hold on. That's how you start a show. All right. So, there we go. It's nice being here at this Divorced Dads meeting at this public access Pee-wee's Playhouse. I'm going to hear about that later. Hi, Sunda. No. And you want to come up here and sing the theme song, John? All right. What's the word of the day?
I don't know.
Whatever. That didn't work. That did not work like I planned. So thank you for joining me here at my midlife crisis. I put this together myself, this outfit with the Denver Nuggets. But anyways, I'm starting to age. I know. I got to get used to the fact that I'm starting to age and I'm not a dynamic young man anymore. And there are signs that I'm starting to age. Like, for example, I'm starting to get that old man yawn now. You know, like I used to wonder when my dad used to do it, and now I know it was because old. And sometimes like I sneeze loudly, and people would get on me like, "Why do you sneeze so loud?" Because it's a sneeze, you know. Like, why do you say like, "Oh, why was that explosion loud?" Because it's an explosion. Anyways, but yeah, but now I have that old man yawn, but which is not very attractive. But on the other hand, now I'm pretty confident that now I can go to karaoke and kill it by singing Michael McDonald songs. You know, Doobie Brothers, like "I came from somewhere back here long ago," you know, something like that. I can't forget when anyways, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to do. Aaron's laughing because he does live band karaoke. Where do you do it?
It's going to be at the Delphi.
At the Delphi. We're going to start
Delphi Greek
in
restaurant.
May. Yes, it's going to be live band karaoke. That'll be fun.
There's not a Greek within 3 miles of that place.
That's fine, but the food is delicious. But anyways, I don't want to bore you here with my old man yawning, but you know who doesn't yawn like an old man? It's this new rising young star who is a huge hit now at LASC, a new favorite. Please welcome to the stage, Yolo Lemus.
Biden over here, guys. I thought we got rid of you. Yeah. Who's that? Man, your age is showing. Wow. But my name's Yuli Lemus, and I realized something about my parents. They're very polar opposites of each other. No wonder they got divorced, but that's besides the point. I realized they're very polar opposite even when it comes to their view of me. Because my dad looks at me and says, "This kid, he's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I would die for him. I love him with all my heart." And then my mom looks at me and says, "The green card wasn't worth it." But another way my parents look at me very differently is basically myself. My mom says I'm very rebellious and disobedient. And then my dad says, "Son, compared to the stuff I did as a kid, you an absolute bitch." And he's right. He's right. Yeah, this is the most rebellious thing I do, stand up itself, and he's supportive of it. Do you know how hard it is to be rebellious and your parents are supportive? It's hard, you know. I try to grow out my hair and everything, and this is the longest it's ever been. So that really says something. Yeah, it's not a great look for me, guys. But I have a friend who's also trying to be rebellious. So you know what she's trying to do? She's trying to get baptized, you know. And I'm like, it's not really a bad thing, you know. It's not a bad thing. And then I'm like, "Are your parents against it?" And she's like, "No, they're okay with it." I'm like, "Okay, so you're just doing a thing. You're doing an average Sunday morning, you know. It's not really that different." But I did recently get a haircut, and I don't like it very much. I thought about firing my barber, but then I realized my mother is my barber, so it doesn't really work. You're fired. Yeah. That's how Trump felt. But so I asked my dad, what do you think? And he's like, "Son, next time just go to my barber, this gay guy." And I'm like, that sounds right. Sounds good. And the reason I knew the haircut would come out bad is because I saw my mom go to beautician school and all that stuff, and she flunked twice. So I knew beforehand that she wouldn't give me a good haircut. But yeah. But my parents are very different because. When I was 6, my dad took me to the clinic because he's a doctor, and he took me, and my mom was there, and his nurse was talking about her daughter, and she was like in a car accident or something, and went into very graphic detail at the time, and was showing pictures and all this stuff. And at 6 years old, it was so wild to me, I fainted, and my dad picked me up, grabbed me, and basically was checking my pulse and everything, and he was like, "I don't have insurance for this, please don't be dead, I don't have life insurance on you." And then, my dad made sure I was okay, and I was very proud of him. It was very nice. But then my mom looked at me and was like, "We're gonna be late for the party we have, so you better be okay. Hurry up. You're the reason we're late for all things." But I realized that I do go to Catholic school, and you're all looking at me like, "Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. He goes to Catholic school. Yeah. This doesn't happen normally." Let me tell you what I am exactly. I'm a 14-year-old stand-up comedian who goes to Catholic school and is a part of the theater department. Yeah, I should be bullied more. I feel like I should not be here. If I had glasses, I think it would seal my fate right now, to be honest. Not a very good look for me, guys. But I do watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of like live TV and news. And I saw this commercial recently for an adoption center. And it was very interesting because at the end of the commercial, they were saying, "Oh, this girl is very lucky. She got adopted." And I'm like, "Really though? Is she lucky? I mean, anybody can get adopted. I mean, you gotta be really lucky to be in a loving household. I mean, Patty's trying to adopt me right now. You know, yeah.
We're in the process.
Yeah, we're in the process. Yeah. Yeah, my dad's really trying hard to get rid of me right now. He's like, $10 every time a show. Oh, Christ, I can't afford it. Patty, it's your fault now. Yeah.
It's truly my fault.
Yes, it is. But I find it. I take Spanish heritage, right? You know, I speak Spanish. I thought I spoke Spanish fluently, but then I started taking heritage, and it turns out I don't know anything in Spanish. But the Spanish heritage, the kids are very loud and obnoxious and rude to the teacher. And every time I'm in that class, I feel like Trump. I'm like I understand where he's coming from. I feel his pain. You know, I'm like, they're very loud, very obnoxious. Maybe deport them. I don't know. Let's see the process. It's a very Latino school, so like half the students are already gone. They're all gone now. So sad. Not really. They're all mean. But you know, when I started doing stand-up comedy, it was a very hard process to tell my mom, because she was like, I wanted a lawyer, a doctor, not Conan O'Brien. No, she didn't want that, you know. Yeah, but I told her, and I said, Mom, I'm a stand-up comedian, and I'm also in the theater department and all that stuff. And she says, no, that bad? No, don't do that. Because I hear on the news all the time kids get molested when they're in theater and comedian. And I'm like, Mom, if you're that worried about me getting molested, you wouldn't have put me in Catholic school to begin with. It's not really worth it, you know? You didn't think this through, did you? Yeah. But as I said, I do go to Catholic school, and they word things very weirdly, you know, like they give out announcements very weird. I was in the boys, I was going to use the restroom, and then I saw this announcement, and if you don't mind, I would like to tell you the announcement. Very funny thing, very very weird, if you can't believe it. Notice. The staff and faculty have noticed an ongoing issue in the male bathrooms. DNA has been found in the sink and drain and has been causing clogging, which results in hundreds of dollars in repair. What I want to know is, why was it in the goddamn sink to begin with? This scares me. So, all money we spend on this issue will come out of school activities, including homecoming, winter formal, prom, and in fact, we're not required to hold these activities, so we advise you not to leave your DNA in the bathrooms if you would like to have a homecoming or prom. Due to this issue, we have now implemented a new rule in the student handbook that makes leaving DNA in the bathrooms a violation. The inability to comply will result in a 3-day suspension and a strict probation when the student returns. Any DNA found in the sinks will be DNA tested to determine who will be punished. Thank you for the cooperation to make bathrooms cleaner. Have a good year. And what I want to know was, why wasn't it a rule to begin with? You've been in school since 1952. I feel like this would have been a problem 50 years ago, okay? And also, you know, the DNA tested, really? Are we going to take it that far? What I want to know is, you know, most kids go to school to learn or to make fun of others. I go to school to see CSI, you know? Yeah. Great, guys. Great. But when I heard this, I was like, I'm never using the bathrooms again. And have you ever tried to explain what that means to a mom? I'm like, Mom, I can't go to the bathroom. Trust me. Just don't worry about it. But it's fun having older parents. My dad's old, as you can see by his expression right now. He's looking at me like, you're gritting grounded when we get home. Yeah. But I have to explain things, like whenever a comedian talks to him. Because have you ever tried explaining a hall pass to an old man? It's weird. It's weird. Yeah. Patty, you're to blame for this. Yeah. So I'm like, a hall pass, it's a way to get out of a divorce if you ever cheat, you know? That's basically what it is. But I also have to explain the news to my mom sometimes. Have you ever tried explaining the P. Diddy situation to a woman who escaped a communist country? It's hard. It's hard to explain that. Yeah, just like him, very hard. But it was funny because I was like, so there was this guy, rapper, but a lot of money, and you know Epstein? She's like, who's Epstein? I'm like, oh God, I gotta explain Epstein. Jesus. Do you know Trump? Oh, that's where my cousin went. She went back home because of him. Yeah. But it's a very funny family, you know. I come from a very wacky family, as you can tell. But I'm out of time, folks. My name is Yuli Lemos. You can find me at the LA School of Comedy. Please welcome back to the stage our president, Gerald Ford, Billy Ramirez.
Let's give it up for Julio Lemus again. Oh no, the rest of us comedians, we're screwed. He's getting confident. He's got his denim on. By the way, have you heard of a Canadian tuxedo by any chance? Julio, have you heard of a Canadian tuxedo? Okay. Do you know you're wearing one? I love it. So yeah, you look like you're about to stop by the Tim's for 2 and 2 on the way to the Lickbo for 2-6. All right, someone got it. Whatever. Anyways, is anyone here a fan of the movie Paul Blart by any chance? Yeah, good. Who doesn't like the movie Paul Blart by any chance? Does anyone here hate it? Like, I use that movie as my litmus test, as whether or not I'm going to get along with someone. Because recently I heard someone say that they don't like Paul Blart, and I just cannot understand how someone cannot like Paul Blart. To me, it's one of the greatest movies ever made. It's because I just don't understand. It's like, as far as I know, the movie Paul Blart has always been Kevin James, the guy from King of Queens, plays a mall security guard who rides a Segway. And it's never been like like a remake of an Italian post-war film, like Paolo Blarte, International Man of Commerce Mystery, right? As far as I know, it's always been Kevin James plays a mall security guard riding a Segway. Knowing all of that, where do expectations come in? Like, that's the part that I don't understand. Like, I don't know how you can be disappointed by any of that. I don't know. So don't get me started on my dissertation on Police Academy movies. Yeah, I love Police Academy movies. But anyways, if any of you, by any chance, I know you're probably dying to do so, if you're interested in learning how to act, just like Kevin James does in his amazing Paul Blart movies, and maybe like Steve Guttenberg and Police Academies, and I heard that there's other movies out there too. But anyways, if you want to learn how to act by not memorizing the script, he's got a whole special thing, and he can tell you more about it. But please welcome to the stage the director of Film Actors Cafe and our producer tonight, Aaron McIntyre.
Thank you very much. How's everybody doing? Good. Glad to hear. I am mentally ill, so just wanted to get that out of the way right off the bat. So, how many people diagnosed mentally ill here? Nobody? Wow. Cool. How many people are just mentally ill? Everybody, raise your hands. Come on, we all got something, right? Yeah, I'm a big advocate for mental illness and illness. Because you claim hills when you get a mental illness. You claim hills. It's not like I'm bipolar, by the way. It's not like I don't live on both poles. It's not like bi-coastal, but the commute is motherfucker, if you know what I mean. But any other bipolar people in here, raise both hands. Any ADD people? Because that's the other one I got. Just tap the person next to them and have them raise their hand for you. Any depressives? Any depressives out there? Just give a nice low moan. There we go. Now we got that out of the way. Yeah, it's been a really good ride. I've learned a lot. I've learned that everything is beautiful. And everything is wonderful, and I have power over the universe, and I can just explode at any moment and just become one with the universe. And then I've also learned that I could be a piece of coal that's being crushed into a diamond right before your very eyes. Julio, you were talking about, God, you were talking about so much. This guy is so good. Now, let's give it up for him, man. 14 years old, I was, my, tube sock was my best friend. That's all I got to say. That's pretty much it still is my best friend, actually, which kind of takes me to like this idea of the Bible, how the Bible is really kind of two books, really. It's like one for the people who are compassionate and loving, and you are loved, you are saved, God loves you, God loves everybody. And then, the other side is like, that's what God gave you the back of your hand for, some kid mouths off to you, you just, no love for you. That was funnier in my head. Yeah, because it is. It's actually more like a blog. You know what I mean? It's like just people adding to stuff over and over and over again. And I'm just wondering, about the Hebites and the hermaphrodites and the, Luddites, which I kind of feel like a lot of them are Luddites. But Moses was very tired all the time, I could imagine. I think he actually had a pretty short life. It was, I think it was only 365 years or something like that, which I kind of wondered about, because then suddenly the median age, the age that people usually died at became 36, and now it's up a little because we got all this medicine. But 365 or however old he was, that's a long time. But I figured it out. It's because they had nothing to do, and so basically every month felt like a year, right? So he had like however 365 months. I don't know what that would be, but who gives a shit? You were talking about DNA in the bathroom. That's what it was, the DNA in the bathroom. I'm a little confused because, are people just like going in and like rubbing their DNA off into the sink and so much excess skin? Because, we reproduce, or not reproduce. We don't reproduce. Well, we do. We don't reproduce. All the people in this room are shitty at reproducing. You basically come in a couple seconds later, boom, you're okay. Maybe not seconds for you, maybe minutes. You're done, right? And now it's 9 months for your partner or your petri dish or however you decide you want to raise children or create children. But yeah, that was confusing. And you said something else earlier, and I can't remember what it is because the other problem that I have, other than bipolar and ADD, is memory. I have no memory. I know that people who are getting older, middle-aged muchacho, it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller until pretty much it disappears, which it did for my mom. I went out actually to take care of my mom during the pandemic, and I did a pretty damn good job. She died, so it didn't get as good of a groan, I gotta say, Alan. Because I like the groans. I like groans in stand-up comedy. I can't remember any. Oh, except for the bipolar thing, I did learn. I was looking at the whole thing that people think that you live on both poles, but there's no penguins in the North Pole. You knew that, right? No penguins in the North Pole, and that's because Santa had to kick them out because all the elves were trying to get with them, if you know what I mean. They were worried about having like little flipper elves, and it was keeping them from their toy making, Huh?
Are you admitting there was penguin sex?
Penguins and elves, yes. Interspecies fucking. I said it. I was trying to keep it clean, but that didn't work out. Oh boy, had a bunch of stuff, about. Oh, I was thinking about the Bible a lot because I've read every other self-help book, and I gotta say that's a really good self-help book because I get a lot of sleep. Because all I got to do is take that thing out and read about 5 minutes, and I'm out. I think it's kind of like more like a bedtime story, except for it scares the shit out of you, They really do. They may have a lot of contradictions in that book, and I think they really need to take some of them out. I think they need to do some more editing. I think it's time to do some more editing, I can see the writer's room for the Bible, a bunch of guys sitting around going, okay, who's going to take care of what? I don't know why they would talk like that, but maybe they would talk more like this. Hey, Moisha, what are you going to write? But yeah, so that they're talking about Genesis. We got to start Genesis. Genesis. I think that they would have started it kind of like, and then God made the heaven and the earth, and that'd be it. And then they go, then the animals and blah blah blah. But somebody said, that's just really not that interesting. I think we got to hook them. We got to hook them in. So God made the heaven and the earth. But the earth was a void. the earth was okay, wait a minute. How was it a void before it was the earth? Why couldn't we just say that he made the heaven and the earth? Why do we have to go through the whole process? Right? It's a long process going through the heaven and the earth, and then it moved. Then God moved on the water. I'm totally confused at this point and asleep because, it just doesn't make sense. And then he made all this other stuff. Why couldn't he just make it? Why did it take him 7 days? And how long is a God day, right? God day could be, millions of years. We don't know. Kind of like, the month became the year for all of the people who lived until 600 in the beginning of the Bible. We don't know. But yeah, I learned a lot. Learned all of the different elements that you need to make an ark, which I never knew. I mean, it's like God is like some kind of gay interior designer. Oh, and then we want some curtains over here, and those have to have 4 brass rings, and those will have 3 brass rings. And over in, I was like, Jesus, either that, and then I found out that God is a jealous God because he comes right out and says it. Right? He comes out, I am a jealous God. There shall be no gods before me. So it's really more like a really shitty girlfriend. Or reorganizing your apartment and, telling you, I'm jealous. But I am thinking about selling my daughter into slavery because she makes really good friendship bracelets. And, you could put her out on the street and she could sell friendship bracelets. Please, sir, would you like to buy a friendship bracelet? And it's only 20 alms. Which was I don't know, was that the money back then? Yeah, alms. No, alms for the poor. Alms for the poor.
How old do you think I am?
Well, I always look to the oldest guy, because you have a better chance of knowing that since, like, some of these people in here don't even know who fucking Reagan was. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We do have an acting class here every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. First one's free. So you can come and check it out, see if it's something you want to do. And I will. Oh, and I'm going to be performing at the Broadwater Theater right over there somewhere on the 17th in a thing called Shots. It's a bunch of 5-minute short plays that are written by local writers. So thanks very much. Welcome back, Billy.
Trying to communicate exactly how we're going to do it. Is it a fist bump or is it a high five? So we're just trying to signal early on. It's working well. Everyone here done with your taxes? You all done? Julio, you got your taxes done? Everything? I know Alan definitely got his taxes done. I did mine like the first day. I don't want to brag, but it didn't take that long. Well, actually, it's kind of sad because at my age, I should have a pretty robust and diverse portfolio, and the most I can muster up looks like an old Trapper Keeper, the one with the triangles and the Velcro doesn't stick anymore. But I don't know. Whenever I get all my documents ready to do my taxes, I always feel like I'm about to take a test and I'm surely going to fail. But luckily for me, I usually get an A for a refund and an F for spelling. But enough about me and my portfolio. This next comedian, I'm very confident that he has the biggest, hardest portfolio around. Please give it up for Alan, the number cruncher Weiss.
The number cruncher.
It was a great portfolio, amazing portfolio until last Thursday.
Hey! Hello.
Now it's a horrible portfolio. Way down. Horribly down. It's amazing. I spent the last week just figuring out tariffs. How much is the tariffs going to impact us? And then they changed it on Tuesday. It's like we're all like calculating all that. Now it's all 10% everywhere, except for China. Good thing I don't need an iPhone. They air freighted 600 tons of iPhones in the last couple of days. That's a lot of iPhones. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. Isn't it toppings for the poor? Toppins. Okay. And then there's DNA. You just got to get rid of all the cutters in the school. because they're, that's what you don't want to have those in the school. Okay, my name is Alan Weiss. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I do go to the gym. And in fact, I stand next to ripped people to make them look bigger, except in the shower, because that would be awkwardly inappropriate. Salad is the worst. Salad's the worst. It's like the appendix section of a financial deck. You want to fall asleep to. You read when you want to fall asleep. Can't read, Billy. Every night you're hungrily swiping the ingredients. You're like in your refrigerator. You're like chicken, like you're like on Tinder, dry chicken, brown avocado, 9-volt battery. And then you settle on the spring leafy greens, which are basically weeds. Oh, don't throw those out. I can use them on a salad. And the only thing that makes salad edible is the dressing, but it's unhealthy. It's like double bacon ranch or extra creamy Caesar. And then there's always that, hot trainer vinaigrette, which is like the one that's supposed to be healthy. It's like, get down and give me 50 push-ups. His label has a 6-pack. He's like, now pour me on that sorry-looking crabgrass. You pour it on while you're staring at his chiseled backside ingredient list. And you're like looking at his main ingredient, sugar, 30 milligrams. Hypocrite. I hate cleaning the fridge. It's like filing your taxes. It can wait. Or can it? All of a sudden, you're in all-out hostage negotiation with Tony the Tupperware, while he's holding a ketchup like an Uzi. He's like, "Give me what I want, or your fridge gets it." He's like, "I want Palmolive, Egyptian cotton, and your DoorDash password." I can't remember names really well. And my mom asked me, she's like, "Hey, what's your roommate's last name?" when I was in college, and I had no idea. So I was like, "Okay, I better go find out." So I go up to my roommate Johnny, and I go, "Hey Johnny, what's your last name?" And he just stands there staring at me with that hard stare. He's like, "My name is Donnie." In dyslexia, it's a fact. It's a part of, you switch names. You can do that as part of dyslexia. You can switch names, and I do that. And it's extremely difficult and it's hard, especially at work when you call your boss Dan, Dad. This girl I was dating, she told me I looked like a horny Jew. I said I removed my horns. It's Passover tomorrow for all the Jews. There's a few of us. And I had a coworker who's slightly anti-Semitic, and he was like, "Do you have a Passover bush for Hanukkah?" I was like, "Yeah, we do. We hide it it's in our backyard. We hide behind it, light it on fire, and wait for Moses to come." Fortunately, I'm not the firstborn. Yeah, it's good, right? I wipe off the blood from the door. No, I like my older brother. Okay. I found that my dating life is like a complex Excel spreadsheet, not responding. Okay. I'm also a dyslexic accountant. And you're probably wondering how, or you could be wondering how, people are always wondering how does that work? Don't worry, I looked it up. It's not fraud, unless there's intent. At least that's what I tell my boss. Women have boggled the men's minds for millennium, right? And which is weird because only 27% of women are cartographers. Takes a minute. My ex, unbelievable. My ex would accuse me of using AI to text her. Women speak in code, and AI has the encryption key. So yes, I was using AI. So that's pretty much everything new and old. Let's see, what else can we talk about? Tariffs, that's fun. We already talked about that. Okay. You think Trump deported that barber because he got a bad haircut? Is that why, like, his haircuts always look like that? He's like, I can finally do it.
Could be.
He's like, you and that SpongeBob tattoo. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do. Oh, wait. Why isn't there a hermaphrodite tribe, Aaron? There's no...
Well, I put them in usually, but I forgot them.
Okay. I was like, there's no hermaphrodites. Okay. And then, and I wonder, like, you know, Patty, you know, Social Security, is that why the Republicans are so against abortion? Because they're just trying to help with the Social Security problem? It's probably also why they raised the tariffs. Okay, thank you very much. My name is Alan Weiss. Hey, Griffin. Griffin came right in time, so he could miss me. It's perfect.
Yeah, he was just waiting out like, is he done? Anyways, let's give it up again for Alan, the number cruncher, Weiss. Woo! All right, that's right. Not a lot of glasses wearers in this room. I've been wearing glasses my entire life, pretty much since like I was 10, 11. And, you know, there was a recent fad. I think it's ending, but that recent fad of the big glasses, I never liked that. I always felt it was like a personal affront to me, and I'll tell you why. Because nowadays, people can wear glasses from Warby Parker, go to the mall, get them in an hour, whatever frames you want. But instead, to be stylish, people would rather wear the glasses that poor kids had to wear in the early 90s. And I should know because I was one. So like every year, I would go to the optometrist with my mom, full of hope, which was my first mistake. Hope is the worst. Don't have hope. And I'd look at the floor-to-ceiling wall displays of glasses. And it was the early 90s, so there was cool shapes and colors and neon, and I certainly won't look like a dork in those. But instead, we would always get led to this separate desk, and then the optometrist would reach from under the desk and pull out this dusty box of the ugliest frames you've ever seen. It looked like lost and found. It looked like a lost and found box, and that's where I chose my frames from. It's like, what is it? There's a jacket in here. What's going on? Is that an ID? What the hell? And that was my choice in glasses, and that's why I don't like this whole fad. But anyways, like I said, it was called a lost and found box, but actually more accurately, it was more of like a found and lost box, where it's like found, a box full of the ugliest frames you've ever seen, and lost, your chances of making friends for the school year. So anyways, this next comedian, he's just far too handsome to wear dorky glasses. Please give it up. He's waiting patiently. Please give it up for the comedy of Prav.
All right, thank you. All right, who's going to Coachella this weekend? Doesn't really seem like a Coachella crowd. Yeah, I got some Coachella jokes, so bear with me. I'm not going to Coachella. I feel like if I wanted to hang out with a bunch of sweaty strangers on shrooms, I would just go to Venice Boardwalk. Yeah. People prepare for Coachella like it's like they're preparing for war. Like they got canteens, boots, 14 outfits for weather changes. Like, bro, you're not going to Vietnam. You're going to see Doja Cat. You know? Coachella is the one place where everyone is gluten-free, but also on cocaine. How old do you think it's too old to go to Coachella? Like 30, 35? Yeah, I'd say if like you have to go see a chiropractor after, you're probably too old. But some people are like, they're pregnant and they're like going to Coachella. I don't know. Have you seen this? People are literally pregnant going to Coachella to see their favorite rapper. Like, yo, you're worried about the wrong Lil Baby. Lil Baby's a rapper. Okay, I have to explain that. Not really the crowd. Yeah. Like, I feel like that music is just terrible for a developing child. Like, is his first words going to be like, turn down for what? You know? he just comes out shuffling. Like, I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't go to Coachella pregnant. Instead of like a pacifier, a regular one, he's got like the rave one. Yeah, we'll name him Diplo. A lot of people go to Coachella and they're like, Coachella changed my life. And then they'll say something blatantly obvious, like, oh, I found out I don't like my job. And it's like, yeah, most people don't. So, all right. Speaking of DJs, I feel like we have too many DJs everywhere. You know, like coffee shops, gyms now sometimes have DJs. There's a DJ at Macy's. Like, this is too much. What's next? You go to the DMV and there's a DJ? You know, you're like, I'm just trying to get my license. It's like, turned down for what? It's playing in the background. Okay, so completely switching topics. Who's here? Who here's parents beat them? This is a couple. Wow, a lot of people. I'm kind of lucky. My dad never beat me. My mom, on the other hand, while she was cooking, she beat me with her other hand, like on the other hand. Yeah. It's funny with parents because like dads, they're very honest. Like if you're like, oh, why'd you beat me yesterday? They'll be like, well, you deserved it. But moms will lie. They'll be like, what? Me? Like I didn't beat you. What? Yes. What else do I have to say? But yeah, my mom's got like the front hand, the back hand. I'm like, where did you learn all this? Like, anyway, what else do I have here? Yeah, I think that's probably all I want to do. All right, thanks, guys. My name's Prav.
Give it up for Prava once again. Woo! Yeah, so it's a lot of comedians. Most of us were beaten. I grew up under the rule of La Chancla. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that, but La Chancla is it's a fashion piece and also a disciplinary device. And like it's still with me. Like I actually was walking down Santa Monica Boulevard past Cafe 50s. There was a lady eating outside. She reached down to adjust her sandal. I almost dove into traffic. Like forget about it. Like I'm not risking no chancla. But anyways, but you know when I think about it, I think I would rather I would rather take a good old chanclazo instead of a punch from this next comedian who's hilarious, and he's also an MMA fighter. Please give it up for the hilarious One Punch Jay.
How y'all doing tonight? So like he said, I'm a comedian, I'm an MMA fighter, and I got narcolepsy. So I'll be throwing punches and punchlines, and I went from throwing punches and punchlines to fighting my sleep in a cage, and now I'll be fighting my sleep on stage. Now I'm trying to figure out, goddamn, which one hit harder, my jokes or my naps. Yeah, they both hit pretty hard, not gonna lie. When I'm in a cage, like, my opponent is not even my worst enemy. It's like my condition, narcolepsy. And when you got narcolepsy, it's like having erectile dysfunction, because it'd be hard for me to stay up. And like, I don't lose my fights by TKO, I lose them by VKO, voluntary knockout. Like, I don't need help going to sleep. I go to sleep so good I can do that shit with my eyes closed. I actually got a black belt in Rim Fu. When people put me in a fucking submission, I look out right in the eye and I'm like, all right, wake me up when it's over. And I don't tap out, but I will nap out. So my dad took me to the doctor. He was trying to figure out what's wrong with me. And I walked in and the doctor was like, so what brings you in here today? I said, well, my dad answered the question for me. He was like, he having a hard time standing up, doc. I said, this motherfucker gonna try to prescribe me Viagra. I was like, nah, I don't need that. Like, I got narcolepsy. My dick got insomnia. I was like, doc, can you even tell me what the fuck causes narcolepsy? He looked at my dad and said, we don't know. I was like, what you mean, we? I know he don't know. That's why he brought me here. He's like, what was your first episode? Do you know? I was like, yeah. It was when I got bit by a bed bug. And I've been sleeping ever since. Now I sleep everywhere but the bed. Because when I lay down, they be bugging me. Lately, my dad been acting like Patty. He like, man, we need to find you a girl. You need to start fucking. I want some grandkids. And I told him, I was like, Dad, I'm in a committed relationship with my mattress. But she be getting mad at me when I lay down. She's Tempur-Pedic. He's like, nah, I got the perfect girl for you, though. She's an MMA fighter with insomnia. We call her Nia. And like, she was good looking, so you feel me? I was down for it. I was up for it, as a matter of fact. I mean, I wasn't up for it, but he was. And we conflict in every phase of life. Like, she be wanna Netflix and chill. I call that shit Netflix and stay still. And if I stay still too long, you already know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna nap out on your ass. And like, fucking, even MMA we conflict. She's a grappler. I'm a striker. I stay on my feet because if I hit the ground, I'm going to sleep. She laying on her back because she trying to get her some sleep. So like, when we in bed, we conflict too, because like I said, she's a grappler and I'm a striker, so I'm gonna do all the standing positions. I was trying to get head standing up. She shot for a takedown, and I let her take me down. And she went to work. She put my dick in a rear naked choke. And no, I didn't tap out, but I did nap out. She woke me up. She said, normally people be squirming and moving and shit. You over here snoring and fucking drooling. What the fuck you got going on? I was like, I was dreaming about it. She stormed out the room mad. I was like, babe, come back. I got narcolepsy, but my dick has insomnia. So as long as he up, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, keep sucking it. So she came back and did. Sucked it till I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning. I was going to work. My car was graffitied. It had like a McDonald's arch on it, but it was like just one arch. So I'm thinking that's probably an N for narcolepsy, and at the bottom it said ba da ba ba ba, keep sucking. I was like, boy, this bitch is crazy. Like, what the fuck? My dad done hooked me up with a girl who got insomnia, and she's a maniac. She's an insomniac. The hell? So I call my dad up like, Dad, you know this girl crazy? Why you hook me up with her? He's like, because, son, it's a science to this. Now, if I would have hooked two narcoleptic people up together, you know they say sleep is a cousin to death. So if y'all would have had a baby, it would have been stillborn. And I was like, what the fuck you mean stillborn? Do you even know what the hell that is? He's like, yes, you the stillborn baby. Most babies come out kicking and screaming. You came out snoring and drooling. When you sleep, you don't move. You were still. So you was a stillborn. I was like, Dad, I don't think that's what that is, but okay. He's like, shut up. Listen, I ain't done yet. He's like, see, now if I hook you with a girl with insomnia, you get one allele from your mom, one allele from your dad, so the baby will come out heterozygous dominant, which means the baby will have a perfect sleeping cycle. They ain't gonna be up, but they ain't gonna be asleep either. And besides, somebody gotta be up to watch these damn kids. Yeah, my dad be tripping, man. Like, I remember the first fight I ever fell asleep. I was in there sad as fuck, playing James Brown, Get Up, Get On Up, because that's what I should have been doing. He came in, he cut this shit off. Your ass should have been trying to get on up instead of falling asleep. He started looking around my room, and like my posters even pissed him off even more. The first poster he snatched down was a James Brown. He snatched that down and put Kelly Price on the wall. He said, you don't need to be playing this shit. Your ass need to be playing As We Slept the Night Away, because that's what you did in that ring. You slept the night away, motherfucker. Then he looked at my Malcolm X poster. He's like, you don't know nothing about no Malcolm X. He was an activist. Nigga, you're a sleepovist. He fight for our rights by any means necessary. You gonna take a nap by any means necessary. He snatched that one down and put on a Martin Luther King poster. He says, you a Martin Luther King ass nigga. I was like, what is that supposed to mean? He said Martin Luther King was a sleeping nigga like you. Because he had a dream. And you can only dream with your eyes closed. Then the one that really, really hurt my heart, because like he always kept me in Adidas shit, and I never knew why. He snatched down my Jordan post. I was like, what the fuck? Why you snatch Jordan down, Dad? He's a GOAT. He's like, nigga, Jordan is a jump man. Nigga, you a sleep man. So he started putting Adidas ones up. You wanna know how I keep them Adidas? Do you know what Adidas stand for? I said, no, Dad, what does it stand for? He said, all day I dream and sleep. Because that's all you do. He stormed out my room. I'm looking at all these new posts and shit, mad as fuck. Like, what the fuck? And my dad fucked with me in every aspect of life. He even tell me, because I'm narcoleptic, it's certain religions that I can't practice. Like, I don't know if y'all know about Hebrew Israelites or Black Hebrew Israelites, but they call themselves woke. I'm always asleep, so that shit ain't gonna work. And then like he's like, nigga, you can't be a Buddhist either. I was like, why can't I be a Buddhist, Dad? He's like, well, it might work for a little bit, because when they meditate, they got their eyes closed. So you might think you're meditating, but when you start snoring, it's a wrap. They're going to be there going, and I'm going to be there going. He's like, you can't even be a Jehovah's Witness, because your ass fall asleep driving. I was like, Dad, I could just fucking spread the word in the Waymo car. He said, if you spread the word in the Waymo car, who the fuck gonna wake you up if you go to sleep? The car not that smart. Ah, shit. I just got up all this shit I want to get off, and this shit worked. But shit, what else I got? Fuck. I talk about my mom. It's my mom. She's different. Like, she been knowing I had narcolepsy. We just kept away from my dad because, as you see, he's an asshole. She be tripping off other shit. Like, she can't remember my name. Like, how you name me and not remember my name? Like, she'd tell me, hey, Jalen, go in there and turn off the light. And I'm going to do it, but I'll talk shit because that's not my fucking name. I'm like, my name is not Jalen, but I got you, Mom. Shut up and turn off that light, you smart mouth little boy. So she went and got a smart house. Somebody who else's name she can't remember. And it's crazy because, like, she always be talking shit to me, calling me a smart mouth little boy, but the smart house don't listen to her neither. Yeah, like, she be calling the wrong name, and, you know, at least I respond. The smart house just ignore her. She was in the hair talking about, Alexis, turn off the lights. And I'm looking up like, shit, Mama, the light's not turning off. She said, shut up, I'm not talking to you. She's like, Alex, turn off the lights. I said, Mama, who the fuck is Alex? She said, it's my virtual assistant. I said, her name is Alexa, so I'm not working. She said, shut up. I was like, Alexa, turn off the lights. The lights went off. She looked at me mad. I was like, see, you need a smart ass mouth for this smart ass house. And she been going smart house crazy, like, and it's crazy that she got shit that don't even make sense in the house. Like, she got rugs you can't walk on. She got a fucking sauna that she treat like a toilet. Because, well, nah, you know, normally when you go take a shit, people tell you to flush as you go. When I'm in a sauna, she tell me to wipe as you sweat. And then she got a toilet that she treat. He like, what the fuck? She got a toilet that she treat like her TV. Like, most people hide the fucking remote control because they don't want you to change the channel. She hide the remote control to the toilet because somebody changed the settings on the toilet. And I figured out when I use the restroom, like, she told me to leave the door open because the toilet has a heat seat warmer, it has a bidet, and you feel me, it flushes by itself. So I went in there, she said, you got to shit with the door open. I don't want you falling asleep on my toilet. I was like, cool. So I go in there, I'm sitting on the toilet, that seat warmer. I'm like, how the fuck you gonna put heat on a seat and not expect me to go to sleep? You know what I did? I didn't tap out, I napped out. Next thing you know, all I hear her say is, Alexa, turn on the bidet. I was like, oh shit, Mama, you didn't tell me that the toilet was a squirter too. And now I understand why the fuck you been hiding remote control to it, because my mama don't have a rose. She got a bidet and a shooter from the rooter to the tutor. But I'm One Punch J. Don't sleep on me. I'ma sleep on y'all. Oh shit! Don't wanna knock. My bad, bro.
You should sell nap outs.
Skip it up. Hold on.
Tap out.
We got notes.
That would work for you.
Okay.
Nap out, like just kind of totally steal it.
And make it like the tapped out. Oh,
Yeah.
the tap out.
So-
Yeah, that would be good.
Sorry.
All right, now let's give it up once again for One Punch J. All right. All right, you know, we're working on merchandising opportunities here. I don't know why I put it back. I'm going to, whatever. Anyways, I made a big decision earlier this week. Did my own research, saw through all the BS, and then I put my foot down, and I finally got rid of my cast iron pan. Like, I'm done with it. It was enough. I always felt stupid using my cast iron pan. Every time I pulled it out, it felt like I was about to repair a train or embark on the Oregon Trail or something like that. The trick to using a cast iron pan, one thing it's so annoying is that the trick to using a cast iron pan is to not wash it properly. That's how you use it. Yeah. In fact, washing it properly is the number one sin in cast iron. So what you do is instead you just kind of like put it near water, let it get oily, develop this patina, which is another word for old and dirty, this seasoning upon which you're going to cook your food. But you know, if you had a child show up to the dinner table with patina and seasoning on their hands, you'd be like, oh, go wash your grubby mitts. That's disgusting. But I think the most annoying part of a cast iron pan is the fan of cast iron pans, because they're always like, Well, the thing about cast iron is that it conducts heat real well. It's like, all right, fine. If I ever put together an orchestra called Heat, I'll get my cast iron pan to conduct it if it'll shut you up. But I feel that in 2025, if you ever buy a cast iron pan, someone in your family should die of dysentery. Anyway, that's kind of mean. I'm sorry. I don't know. That whole thing was a little mean. But anyways, enough about me and my cast iron pan. Please give it up for the editor-in-chief of Cast Iron Aficionado. Please give it up for Michael.
Thank you. There's an old studio trick to make it sound like there's a bigger audience there. Instead of clapping your hands, you clap your thighs. So I want you guys to all pull your pants down and clap your thighs for me.
That's crazy. I'm over here trying.
I heard on the radio on the way down here, they had their first baby born at Coachella this year. They named it Plus One. I'm like, is it Aaron?
Yeah.
I'm talking about sleeping. Yeah, I do the same thing with reading. Reading just puts me to sleep. If I try to read in bed, I can't get 2 sentences without dozing off. That's why I have to be extra careful when I read the freeway signs. It's talking about sneezing. I heard they say like a sneeze is 1/3 as strong and powerful as an orgasm. I think it's just the opposite. I think a sneeze is like 3 times an orgasm. Because when I sneezed in my girlfriend's face, she got way more pissed than when I came in her face. Did you say you're Jewish? Have you ever tried J-Date? Yeah. One of my, did you? Yeah. One of my Jewish coworkers tried J-Date for a while. And so after a couple of weeks, I said, hey, how's J-Date going? And he goes, I had to give it up. It's too expensive. I thought, wow, how could J-Date have totally missed the fatal flaw in their business plan? So, did you guys see Elon has got his feelings hurt? Jumping around on stage with a chainsaw, laughing about firing tens of thousands of people, but now he's all butthurt because he figured out that people don't like him. We should probably cut him some slack, though. I mean, is it any surprise that the guy on the spectrum doesn't pick up on social cues? So, Easter's on 4/20 this year.
Crazy.
I'm going to get so goddamn high. Anybody get a good prank on April Fool's Day? I love April Fool's Day because I hate to miss a chance to post a selfie in a dress. And April Fool's Day and Halloween are the only 2 days I can get away with that without having to have an awkward conversation with Mom. I know there is an actual coming out day, but I think the LGBT community really missed a trick by not making it April Fool's Day. Because if it doesn't go well, there's a lot of second chances built right into that. So, Dad, April Fools, put away your will. Did you guys see that country singer that stormed off the stage at SNL? Mm-hmm. Then he tweeted, "Get me to God's country." Yeah, I guess he had a pretty. I guess he was pretty disgusted with his experience in New York. I guess it kind of left a bad taste in his mouth. The rumor is that he mistakenly hooked up with a trans woman. I work with a lot of young guys like Gen Z. I swear I can hardly even communicate with these kids anymore. It's like they speak a whole different language. When they said I was the OG at work, I thought that meant old guy. A girl at work taught me a Gen Z term, ghosted. Actually, the guys taught me that because she was gone. Have you guys ever been ghosted so hard that a girl actually quit a job? Kids are pretty cool to the old guy, though. They even invited me to their Super Bowl party. And I was like, wow, Gen Z Super Bowl party? That sounds like fun. What should I bring? And they said, could you get us some beer, mister? So I'm like, all right. Is that new hostess going to be there? Yeah, man, things have changed. Girls used to think I was a catch. Now I'm a throwback. So I get a case of beer and I go to this kid's apartment for the Gen Z Super Bowl party, but they didn't even have a TV. They're all watching the game on their phones. I don't fit in with these kids anymore. I can't get the game on my flip phone. I can't believe how much technology has changed. I still remember the very first Super Bowl party I went to. We listened to the game on the radio. The halftime show was Lyndon Johnson giving a fireside chat. So I'm watching the game on this kid's phone over his shoulder. They had the Blue Angel flyover. Had an all-female flight crew. And I got to hand it to the ladies. They were great, you know, nice tight formation right from point A to point B. Nobody's circling aimlessly, afraid to stop and ask for directions. Yeah, the women pilots were every bit as good, if not better, than the guy pilots. Until they landed and had to park. Did you guys see that halftime show? Can somebody explain that to the old white guy? You know you're old when you can't keep up even with the subtitles on? But he did seem to piss off all the right people, so I'm an ally. Yeah, you know, I'm no Trump fan, but I got to admit, I didn't think Kamala had a chance. I mean, they even tried to steal the black vote from her. They tried to start this whisper campaign. It's like, is she really black? Or oh, she's mixed race, so African Americans shouldn't even vote for her because she's not black enough. Not black enough. Yeah, I was talking to my dad about that. I'll tell you what, she was plenty black enough as far as my old man was concerned. I like to think I'm not as racist as my dad, though. I mean, I was dating a black girl over the holidays. But she dumped me for Black History Month. Okay, well, what she said was, that's it, I'm out. And it was February, so... I was going to go home to Kansas City to watch the game with my family. You know, for a comedian, going home to visit your family is actually a tax write-off as a work trip. Because we all come back with material. Whenever I see somebody out here in a Chiefs jersey, I'm like, hey, go Chiefs! And we like high-five and fist bump, and we stop and chat a little bit. When I got back to Kansas City, everybody's wearing Chiefs gear. And for the first day, I kept forgetting that I wasn't in L.A. anymore. So I ran up to a guy in a jersey, and I said, hey, go Chiefs! And he said, okay, Spaz. When I went home for Christmas, I saw that I hadn't packed enough underwear, so I was going to go buy some. And Mom says, there's some of Dad's old underwear in that dresser. That's how I found out my dad used to wear thong underwear. That's also how I found out my dad had a bigger dick than me. Which is actually one of the better ways to find out your dad's got a bigger dick than you. Man, talk about a stocking stuffer. I did a couple of shows when I was back home, but I didn't invite my family because I figured out that people won't laugh at your jokes if they don't really like you. Okay, you guys are all nodding too much there. It's funny because it's true. I don't like him. I think about 9/11 whenever I go home because they give you those little airplane snacks, but they're impossible to open. They're sealed like they're radioactive. I mean, Jesus Christ, you need a box cutter to open these things. But they don't let me take my box cutter on the airplane anymore because of 9/11. Because some guys just don't know how to act when you give them a box cutter. I was in the airport bathroom, and a guy had his kid in the next stall, and he's saying, okay, now hold it steady. Now aim at the middle. Oh, good job. Now keep aiming at the middle. Oh, you're doing a very good job. You're getting to be such a big boy. And I looked up, and he was peeking over the stall. He was talking to me the whole time. Yeah, my black girlfriend, she told me she couldn't handle all the white privilege. And it's true, you know. I mean, we got pulled over one time, and the cop said, you've got a brake light out. If you get it fixed in 30 days, you won't have to pay this ticket. I got to fix a ticket. Talk about white privilege. I was riding with one of my black friends when he got pulled over, and the cop said, you've got a brake light out. I have to shoot you. I'm sorry, it's in the manual. Then he looked at me and said, are you okay to drive this car home? Okay, that's my time, guys. Thanks.
Get up for the comedy of Michael. Oh, man, he mentioned flip phones. Does anyone remember flip phones? I miss flip phones. It was being able to just like flap open your phone kind of made you feel like a detective or Star Wars or something. But then also slamming it shut was the next best thing to actually slamming the handset down. I have an old red rotary phone that I got just as like a prop, and it's just out for yucks. I just slam the handset just because it's so satisfying. But anyways, we're coming up on the back stretch of Funky Friday here at LA School of Comedy. This guest has been visiting us a couple times, and what do you think? Are you feeling up for it?
I'm feeling.
All right, we got. Is this your first time here?
It's my first time here.
First time at LA School of Comedy. Give it up for Jared.
Hey, no, I've it's been a bucket list thing, I think, to just do some stand up. I mean, I've enjoyed just watching Dave Chappelle. I mean, not to be in any league as to these professionals out there. I'm just, I don't know. I've just gone through some drama this last 6 months. I'd say kind of life-changing event. I'm going through a divorce right now, which is like the biggest breakup of my life. We've been married for, we're going on 25 years now. So it's been heartbreaking, but and it was. I don't know. So I'm doubling this as like a therapy session / comedy routine here. So, but I mean, there's certain events that have happened that you just got to like start laughing. Otherwise, you're just going to break down and just sob and cry yourself to sleep. But yeah. So I mean, this divorce is. People talk about revenge bodies as a way to like get back at the ex and but I don't know this I don't know, this desire to, I don't know, I'm not feeling it just yet. I haven't quite hit that got to get the revenge body stage yet. So we'll see when that comes about. I'm just kind of taking it one day at a time there. So, but we'll get there. So. I don't know. My wife and I, we were, we've spent the last 2 years, I guess 13 months, like apart from each other. We've been separated. She took a job in Kuwait. I stayed on here in LA working, and and then came October. She came around. I was looking at finding work in the Middle East, or we're also enticing her to come back here, but it reached a point where in October she just said, you know what, Jared, at this point we're separated. And then it wasn't much long after that she was just like, hey, we're done. So but we met up at Christmas time, and it was, I don't know, it was awkward there with our 3 kids, and I don't know, spending our last Christmas together as a family. And but like I said, just taking it one day at a time, knowing that I'm going to come out on the other side of this in a better state of being. I think good things are ahead. I honestly hope good things are ahead for her. I wish her well, and I'm on good terms with her family. But no, I just yeah. So I think this is one of those things in life that we experience, that through this we can become better. We can laugh at the tragedy of it, but feel like that times are going to be that good times lie ahead. So one of the themes I was picking up on was just divorced dads, and I don't know if there was a foreshadowing to this or something, but my daughter was with me last summer, and I had this like store brand ice cream. I think it was like the just generic ice cream, and she was picking up like, Dad, this is definitely divorced dad ice cream here, so you gotta up your game here, get some better groceries if you're gonna entertain and stuff. So we're going through like division of assets and words like alimony, which I didn't know what that meant until like 2 years ago, and now my daughter's like talking to me about I don't know, it's like she's picked up on these terms that I'm just kind of slow to the uptake on. So anyway, I just no, I appreciate this opportunity to speak to you all. I mean, this is just an event I'm going through, but it's trying to make humor out of something that's tough, that's real. You've got to try to make the day better. Know that good times lie ahead, but I thank you all. I appreciate your.
Let's give it up once again for Jared. So speaking of doing humor, finding humor in the situation like that, when you first heard about Kuwait, did you just burst out laughing? It's like, are you like no, seriously, where?
I remember us like saving Kuwait from I was in history class.
Oh, really?
When like Saddam Hussein was going haywire,
Yeah.
and we were like, we got to save the Kuwaitis.
Wow. But was it a short list between like Kuwait and other cities? And also, if so, what other cities?
My wife is like in a very specialized field, and there were literally like, I don't know. I think maybe she wanted, it was a way of putting some distance between me and her, but there were very few jobs out there for an art historian.
Oh, okay, it makes more sense. All right, that makes sense.
So that was the one opportunity that popped up, and
I was wondering. It's like, our three options are it's Kuwait, Mogadishu, and East St. Louis.
Right,
I don't know. All right, no one knows about those cities.
Hey, I found a job in Long Beach.
Yeah.
We can do this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
It's like
Long Beach, I could live with.
Yeah.
Kuwait. Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us, Jared. I appreciate it. Yeah. Let's give it up. All right, so we're almost done here, but first I got to ask, John, do you have any new tales of badassery that you want to share? All right, so that means all right. So now, before we end, I got to bring up the whole Saint DNA thing. Aaron, what do you think it is again?
They're just scraping their skin off.
It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. Anyone else have any other idea? What could it be?
Just jerking off.
They're jerking off into the sink. That's what they're doing. Yeah. They're jerking off. Yeah. Have you ever been to college? Like, college dorms always have notes about stop jerking off into the drain. It's collecting in the.
You didn't hear my tube sock.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry to bring up beating off, but anyways, I'm sure this next comedian beats off in only the most appropriate places. Please give it up for the hilarious Griff James.
I've gone a lot of intros in my short comedy career. That might be the best one. Jared, I'll tell you what you got to do. You got to go to Thailand.
Is that right?
Fuck a revenge body. You go get a young Thai woman. You bring her to the States on some 90-day fiancé vibes. You bring her to Christmas, you've won. Okay. All right. He took your ticket. I'm trying to lighten the mood. I'm trying to get a good body too. I'm in a relationship. I'm trying to stay ready though, just in case I want to leave. And I joined a new gym. I gotta quit it though. The gym's fine, but it just I gotta go to the steam room. I love the steam room, and everyone in the steam room wants to talk, and I can't. I know there's a male loneliness epidemic, but we're not gonna cure it in the steam room. That's not where we're gonna do it. I hate to talk. There's a guy in there the other day. He was moaning in the steam room. He was like, oh. And I kept exhaling to show that I was pissed. I would go. He'd be like, oh. I'd be like. Eventually we make eye contact. And he opens his mouth to speak. And I think he's going to apologize for moaning in this naked vicinity. And instead he looks at me and he goes, you into Jesus Christ, bro? I swear to God, literally. I was like, I'm actually Buddhist. I come here for quiet meditation in the steam room. That's what I do, actually. That's the most aggressive sneeze I've ever heard. I believe all the schoolyard stories just off the sneeze alone.
Sorry about that.
Don't be. It's your body, your choice. But yeah, I'm trying to get. Are we religious in here?
Oh yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, you are.
Spiritual.
Jared. You need the Lord more than ever now, Jared.
I do. I pray to every night. No.
Every night.
No.
I feel like this might sound arrogant to say, but I feel like God listens to all my prayers. Because I never pray. So when I do, God's like, well. We haven't spoken years. And now you need help with your penis. I'm like, God, please, I'll wear the yarmulke. I'll do anything. I started praying for others. That's a fun feeling. My friend's grandpa got really sick, and my friend went to visit him, and I was like, oh, I'll pray for him. I'll throw a prayer up for him. I was praying to God. I was like, God, I'll be ordering for someone else tonight. And I prayed for his grandpa, and then I checked in with him today, asked him how his grandpa's doing. He was like, he's great. He's out of the hospital. He's doing really well. I was like, boom, prayer successful. Good to see that prayer landed. And his grandpa's in Michigan, so that was a long-range prayer. That's about as far as my prayers go, though. I try praying for the Middle East, not just your wife in general, and I couldn't get a signal. Could not get a signal over. They can't even get a signal. It's a dead zone out there. In the Middle East, it's so violent, right? And it's because they're fighting over religious landmarks. It's a holy war, but it's like the things they're fighting over suck. I've been out there, just like temples. It's like they're not cool. If I was to do a religious war, I would do it like for something tangible, like something that, it'd be fun once you get. Like I would lead a religious war to claim a mini golf course. There'd be a lot of killing and a lot of horror, but at the end, I could be like free mini golf for everyone, and it'd be worth it. I don't care about global warming at all. Does anyone else care about it here? I don't give a shit about it. I'm trying to come to terms with it. I just don't care. People are always like, we gotta do something for the future generations. I'm like, this can be it. I'm cool with this being it. I'm Gen Z. We're annoying. And after us, it gets much worse. It's iPad kids. And they don't need to see the sky. They're too wrapped up in the iPad. They can live underground, in my opinion. This is my stance. You ever go to a store right before it closes and the guy's locking up, and you're like, please, let me in, please. He's like, fine. So you're in the store, he's bagging up your croissant. And then another person comes and they start banging on the door and they're like, please. And the guy's like, nah, we're closed for real. And you look at that person and you're like, ha ha. That's my take on global warming. That's my stance. I just feel like global warming, they picked like a bad spokesperson, Greta Thunberg. She sucks. She's deranged. This doesn't make sense, but also does. She looks like she would bite a dog in the face. Like you're walking your dog and Greta walks up and you're like, oh, this girl wants to pet my dog. And then all of a sudden the dog's like, what the hell? She just bit my freaking ear off. She's a little freak. She pisses me off because like she's trying to get involved in all these other social issues. It's like, nah, you're the global warming girl. You do global warming. That's what you do. Everyone, you know who Malala is?
Yeah.
Some do, some don't. Well, she's the woman who's she got shot and she's an activist for women's education. And everyone loves her because we're like, that's the woman that got shot for education. But if Malala woke up one day and was like, free the nipple, we'd be like, you got to stay in your lane. Can't be out freeing the nipple. And free the nipple shouldn't even be a movement. That's a reward. That's like we got it. I don't know. I'm so hungry. Trying to be more real on stage. I'm not. I have not fueled my body properly today. So we're all comedians on a technical level in here, and maybe you guys have been asked this. People always say to me when they find out I do comedy, they're like, "Oh, you do comedy? You must be so witty. You must always say the perfect thing." And that's not true. If you do comedy, you know that. But I did the other day. This might be too much backstory, but I played tennis. I was in a long sleeve shirt and it was hot out, and so took my shirt off and I ended up driving home shirtless. And I got out of my car shirtless just as this older woman was walking by, and she went, nothing like seeing a half naked man on the street. And I went, you can look, but you can't touch. And she laughed and I laughed, and it was a really cool moment. And then I realized she was going the same direction as me. And so I hung back because I was like, I want to talk to her more, like nailed that interaction. So I hung back 10 feet, but she would stop because she had her dog with her. So the dog would like sniff a flower, and when she stopped, I stopped. And eventually it got to the point where she turned around and she had fear in her eyes, and she went, "Is everything okay?" And I went from being the cool shirtless guy to a man scaring her, and my shirt is off. And I didn't make it any better. I was like, "Oh, no, you don't understand. It's just that our conversation was perfect." Guys don't get me, man. All right. So I'm in a relationship, and I don't know, man. I'm a good boyfriend, but Jerry, you'll relate to this. As a good boyfriend or a good male person in the relationship, you don't get to have a good day unless your girl also has a good day. Have you guys seen that video of George Bush when they whisper in his ear about the 9/11 attacks? That's me when I'm chilling with my friends and my girlfriend texts me, "I'm sad." I'm just like, this is going to be a different kind of day now. And ironically, just like George Bush, I did it, so.
You stupid, bro.
I'm smart. That's smart.
No, it's a good way.
No, I know. I didn't take it. I'm just saying, like, I'm really smart. Like, I really just feel recently I'm functioning on a higher level. Not you guys in particular, but just like the average civilian. I see numbers in the air and all kinds of crazy stuff. Any questions?
How high can you kick?
How I could kick a man square in the jaw with a kick.
What you doing with me too?
I don't even. I just play UFC the video game, and that's enough. Thank you.
All right, let's give it up once again for Griff James and all the comedians you've seen here today. This has been Funky Friday at LA School of Comedy. You could Funky Friday, yeah, Funky Friday.
Fuck you, Friday.
Funky, I don't know. All right, yeah, it could be that.
Let's get to fucking.
And the next one is Manic Monday. What would you call that? What would be the nickname for Manic Monday? Manage Monday. All right, Moronic Monday. God, you're too funny. You're too young to be this funny. Stop it. All right. All right. So once again, my name's been Billy Ramirez, signing off from LA School of Comedy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Monday.